Hi everybody, this is Richard from Small Caliber Arms Review, and if you've got a hankering for being a cowboy but you're kind of on a budget, you can check out the Ruger Wrangler. Alright, here it is, the Ruger Wrangler. This is a new one from Ruger. It is a single action and it is a cowboy gun. This is how it comes in the box, wrapped in plastic, got the little foam inserts in there and everything. You've got your lock, your paperwork and everything underneath there. But let's take a look at the gun itself. If you're familiar with the Heritage Rough Rider, this is real similar to that, except it doesn't have the safety on the side here, and I'm okay with that because that's probably one of the reasons I don't even own a Heritage, is that just looks a little funky. Now this does have safety features that the old cowboy guns didn't have. It does have a transfer bar safety in there, so that you actually have to pull the trigger to get that to go in between the hammer and the firing pin, otherwise it won't fire. So you don't have to worry about hitting the hammer on the back and accidentally setting off a round. Now this has got the loading gate on the side like most single action armies do, and once you do that, usually on the other ones you'll hear a click. Once you open that loading gate on there, there's no click, and this will spin either direction. And then once you close it, it'll lock in time there. It advances when you pull the hammer back. Again, you've got the case ejection right here. Now one of the things I don't like about it not clicking into place once you've got that open is lining up your ejection rod. If you don't have it lined up where the cylinder is, you're gonna hit the end of the cylinder and not gonna be able to push the round out. So I kind of like it when they click into place like that. Otherwise, that's probably the only gripe I've got about this gun. Other than that, when I first seen pictures of this gun, I thought, well, that's kind of a cheap looking gun. Kind of like my Chiappa is, my 1873 Chiappa. That's an aluminum frame and everything. This one's not aluminum like that. This is a good, sturdy, solid gun. It is Cerakoted. This one's in silver. It's also available in the burnt bronze and black. At the time I went to the store, this was the only one they had, was the silver version of it. It's got plastic grips on it, but I mean, you can change them all out and everything. They should, I won't guarantee it, but they should be similar to all the other single action armies, the full size ones. The grip feels the same and everything. But it's a good feeling gun. It's got some heft to it, which is okay because I mean, it gives you more of a feel of the real gun. But this is a 22. Now this is only 22 long rifle. It does not have a does not come with a 22 Magnum cylinder that like the Heritage Rough Rider does. You can get it with both cylinders, and the Chiappa 1873, you can get that with both cylinders too. But I mean, it's a good solid feeling gun, and it comes apart just like every other one. To open the loading gate on it, push your pin right there and pull the center pin out, and you can roll the cylinder right out of it, clean it up. You can get in there and clean the barrel and everything. These are simple guns. They're fun guns. They're reliable guns. Reassembly, just the same thing. Just put that back in there, push that button down, make sure you got everything lined up, push it back in there, close your loading gate, make sure everything locks into time. It's ready to go. Let's get this thing loaded up with a few rounds, and we'll put some Thunderbolts in it because I've got a whole bunch of those. It's good, cheap, bulk ammo, and we don't have to worry about any cycling issues with this because it's a single action. There's no semi-auto anything on this. Alright, there's no real trick to loading these things up. You open up the loading gate, you can see the hole in the cylinder right there. Just drop around in it, push it in, turn to the next one, keep on loading them in. Now, I don't believe there's any kind of speed loader available for a single action army, but I mean, they're still fun guns. You're not going to get out and do a bunch of tactical reloads and all that kind of stuff, but they're still fun, and all you got to do is get you a nice little leather holster, and you're good to go. Alright, 6 rounds is all it holds. It's ready to go. All you got to do is pull the hammer back, point in the right direction, pull the trigger. Alright, not every firearm out there necessarily has to have a practical purpose. If you just want to get out and have some fun with one, although it's not a toy, it is a fun thing for a responsible person to play around with. And if you want to relive the days of the Old West, you can get yourself a little leather holster, kind of like what would be around back then. And this one I made a couple years ago, and kind of my first venture into leatherworking. But get you a nice holster, set your target up, and get out there and play around with it. Like I said, it doesn't have to have a practical purpose. Sometimes it's just about the fun. although it could be used for personal defense, and it obviously was used for personal defense back in the day. And I have a friend of mine who is into cowboy action shooting, actually got his concealed carry with a single action revolver, and it's completely doable, but it's up to you what you want to protect yourself with. This I got just for having fun with, and like I said, it's pretty much the same size and pretty close to the same weight and feel and everything of the old 1873 single action armies. In fact, this holster was built for another 1873, and it fits just fine. It is a 22, and I have 45s that fit in here. I have 38s and 357s that fit in here too. But I got a target set up there, and although John Wayne didn't wear safety glasses and earplugs, I'm going to get them on, take a few shots at it, and see how this thing does. Now remember, in a single action firearm, you have to pull the hammer back. The trigger releases the hammer to set off the round. All right, there's my 6 rounds, and actually it doesn't do too bad. Right now I'm shooting at about, I would say, I don't know, 8 yards away. Let's go up there and take a look at the target real quick. All right, there it is. There's the 6 shots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Shoots pretty good. I'm not really going for accuracy. Just like I said, it's a fun gun, and that's what I'm bringing it out here for, just to have a little fun with it. Let's get it unloaded, reloaded, and take a few more shots. All right, unloading it, all you do is open up your loading gate, and you've got the ejector right here. You just catch your finger on that. You got to line the cylinder up. Like I said, with this one, it doesn't click into place, but you get it lined up and push it, and it pushes your shell right out. Now, if you hit it with a little bit of speed, they'll just usually come flying right out. The nice thing about these is you don't have to worry about slinging brass everywhere, and I like to keep my brass picked up. So this really makes it easy. I don't have to go hunting around in the grass for it. And that's it. All 6 of them have been ejected. And then reloading it, like I said, just drop one right in there. Rotate it to the next one. And once you've got all 6 of them in there, make sure they're pushed all the way down in there too, otherwise they'll get hung up a little bit on the back of the cylinder there, or the back of the frame. Once you've got all 6 in, close it up, lock it into time, put it back in your holster, aim it at the target, you're ready to go. Now sometimes when you're unloading it, you can just pull it out, tip it up a little bit, and you don't have to hit them very hard. They will fall out pretty much. Just takes a little tap to get them freed up, because the case will swell just a little bit inside the cylinder. Just enough to barely hold on to them. It is a 22, so there's not a lot of power behind it. It's not going to swell the case up so much that it shouldn't swell the case up so much that you have to really drive them out. But they come out pretty easy. All right, guys, I got 6 more rounds loaded up in there. Anyways, this is the Ruger Wrangler. This is new for 2019. Like I said, it's a good feeling firearm. It's got some weight to it. It's a nice heavy, I believe it's steel frame and barrel and everything on it. Because of the weight of it, it certainly has to be. It is Cerakoted, so Cerakoting is a pretty tough, kind of a baked on finish that is really durable. It's fairly scratch resistant. It's definitely weather resistant, and this is a good gun if you want to get out and play cowboy. It's the right feel to it, pretty much the right weight, in a smaller caliber, so it's a lot more affordable. 45 long Colt gets pretty expensive to shoot. At about 30 bucks for a box of 50 rounds, you can go about $16 and get 500 rounds of 22, at least at the time of this video. But it's a good quality gun, I think. It's got a good feel to it. It does have plastic grips on it. If you want to, you can change them out. It just depends on what you want to do with it. But anyways, I'm going to take a few more shots with it. And if you could, hit the button up here to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit this button over here to check out some of my other videos. And I'll try to put a link in here somewhere to the Chiappa 1873 Single Action Army. and maybe you can check that video out too. Anyways, thanks for watching Small Caliber Arms Review.